Alright, YouTube, so we are finally back over here on the second channel. It's been a minute. It's been like half a year or more since we uploaded. We'll always continue to upload on the channel, even if there's like weird times like this where we haven't uploaded in quite a bit. We're still going to come back to this channel eventually, always. And we are back with some Silent Hill content, which this channel already has a history of. If you go back to like the earlier days of me creating the channel, like over 2 years ago or so, outside of the initial video describing why I was making the channel, the first couple uploads were Silent Hill related. Anyways, let's cut the bullshit. If you're a Silent Hill fan, you might have already seen this, but there's going to be some sort of Silent Hill event in the next couple of days. Wednesday, October 19th, they'll be having some sort of a event to discuss the future of the series. They're calling it Silent Hill Transmission. They link to the website, the Silent Hill website. I don't know if this is like a live stream or something. If it is a live stream, is it going to be on YouTube or Twitch or anything like that? I have no idea, because they're only linking to their website. And once you put in your info, which is just the region and language that you want, it just changes the website to this, which this is just a screen grab of it. But the background is fog that's moving and stuff like that, so I guess that's kind of cool. So, what exactly does this all mean? I think more so than ever, I think pretty obviously now that they're having a Silent Hill, some sort of event, that it's going to amount to something. I think finally now we're getting more Silent Hill games. The rumor out there, at least recently, is that there's 2 Silent Hill games in the works. Now that's something we actually talked about on this channel over 2 years ago. I don't remember at the time what the sources were. I could obviously go click on that video if I wanted to find out. But more recently, it's coming from Christophe Gans, which is the guy that made the first Silent Hill movie. Now, here recently in interviews, he's talking about how he's going to make the next Silent Hill movie. He's supposed to be working on that, working on the script. Supposed to be out sometime next year. But coming from him, he says that he's working with Team Silent on that movie, but also that Konami's working on multiple Silent Hill games. But even putting aside that, there's just been too much over the last couple of years for there not to be something, right? With the Bloober Team stuff and all that, we never got into it on this channel or the main channel. But according to him, Christophe Gans, the Bloober Team is in fact working on the Silent Hill 2 remake, which is, I think, what this is going to be. I think that's at least one of the things they're announcing is the Silent Hill 2 remake, because they're just going to, it's Konami clearly following in the footsteps of Capcom with the success they had with Resident Evil 2 and 3 remake and the upcoming 4 remake. And to be honest, I've always been hopeful for another Silent Hill game. I've always thought it was going to happen eventually. But if not for those Resident Evil remakes, I don't know. It's hard to say because it's been a long time now since we've had a Silent Hill game. If you don't include PT and Silent Hills, which obviously that hurts if there's nothing that ever comes from that, it's been a decade, dude. It's been 2012, Book of Memories, and Downpour. It's been a long time, dude. That's like, a third of my life ago. It's been quite a bit since we've had some Silent Hill in our life. So I think it's finally time now. And if you're going to come back to the franchise, it only makes sense to remake one of the trilogy, right? Whether it's the original, the second one, or the third one. It only makes sense. And Silent Hill 2, even if it's not your favorite, is the most popular. And if they come back to the franchise making video games and they do a Silent Hill 2 remake and it's great, then they can get back in the good graces with the fan base, right? Not good. It can't just be good. It can't just be passable. It has to be great. Maybe even fucking great. Because I already fucked it up once with the HD collection, which I own, and that's something I would consider passable. A lot of people hate on the HD collection, and I get it, because it's not nearly as good as the original PC versions. But it's at least a way to play Silent Hill 2 and 3, right? Like, that's the point. It's just passable. You already fucked it up once, you cannot fuck it up again. Not to mention, of course, the lack of shit for 10 years now, pachinko machines, and of course fucking over the fan base with PT and Silent Hills. That had so much motherfucking promise, dude. PT and Silent Hills, that could have been one of the best horror games in a long, long time. That was so promising with that playable teaser. And it's already been almost a decade since that, and more than likely nothing will ever come of it. I think there's a bit of a rumor out there somewhat that maybe Kojima could come back to it, but I don't know how likely that is. I don't know if they could ever mend that bridge, right? They already burnt the shit out of it. He lost the rights to his franchise with Metal Gear and stuff. So I don't know. I don't know if there's ever anything that could come of it. That's more or less what we can talk about for now, because it's kind of hard to speculate what this is going to be. Now, with the tweet they put out earlier today, they did quote sort of Silent Hill 2 when they said, "In your restless dreams, do you see that town?" Which is kind of a spin on the obvious famous quote from the beginning of the game. Whether or not that's actually them teasing something for SH2, it's kind of hard to say. The rumor out there is there's a Silent Hill 2 remake, so maybe they could also just be using that line just because it's the most famous line from probably the franchise. If I had to give you my expectations for this event, it's just going to be based on the rumors that are out there. A new upcoming movie, and there's 2 games in the work, one of them being SH2. Now, what the new game could be, we can't even speculate on that. Outside of those leaked images from a little while back that were supposedly supposed to be from a Silent Hill game, with the post-it notes on the wall or whatever. So outside of that, potentially being an actual Silent Hill game, you just can't even guess what a new game would be, right? And who knows? They've gone kind of all over the place with this franchise. I assume, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt for now. I've dealt with Konami for a long time. For now, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. If there's a new game, I think it's going to be decent. If they're going to follow in the footsteps of the recent Resident Evil games, I don't know if they'd go first person or third person. Third person's better for the franchise, obviously, but I think some of the first person shit with like Silent Hill 4 works. So I mean, who knows exactly? Maybe they do both. Maybe SH2 Remake is third person. Maybe the new Silent Hill game's first person. Like, I think that'd be fine. Anyways, dudes, that's the video. Social networks in the description below. Follow me on Twitter, @DavidYT. That's it. Bye.
Till it comes to conclusions, all the things that we thought we were losing. I'm a ghost and you know this. That's why we broke up in the first place.